Hello classy people, this is Josh the Top Hat Gamer, and this week I'm reviewing Abzu. In recent years there's been an increase in games that strive to achieve a specific atmosphere or emotional connection, rather than providing a detailed story or polished game mechanics. While there's nothing wrong with this type of game, it's incredibly difficult to create one that's actually satisfying to play, unless you're that game company, that is. So does Abzu, a game whose development team features former That Game Company members, achieve the feeling that it aims for? Let's dive in. Abzu, a term intended to be interpreted as ocean of knowledge, puts players in the role of a nameless diver who explores the seemingly endless ocean, interacting with the wildlife and environment along the way. The further you dive, however, the more questions are raised regarding where or even when you are. Despite some of the questions that Abzu raises, there's not many answers to be found. You'll find a number of strange underwater structures, but aside from giving a few vague hints at the greater world around you, the game sincerely seems to want you to just take your time and chill out in its various underwater locations. Luckily for Abzu, exploring the ocean's many areas is a joy thanks to the vibrant, diverse color palette and the immense variety of wildlife on display. There are so many different fish and other sea creatures to interact with, and I'm sure I didn't even see half of them. The soundtrack is suitably soothing, with plenty of different string movements to match the mood of your underwater journey's various stages. There's no voice acting to speak of, but the sound design continues to deliver with detailed sounds of rushing currents and bubbles filling the otherwise empty ambience. Honestly, if you ever just wanted to chill out in the ocean, then Abzu's presentation will certainly win you over. Abzu's gameplay, on the other hand, is pretty bare bones, as it mostly consists of swimming around and exploring the aforementioned areas until you're ready to move on. The swimming controls about as well as you'd hope, and you can grab onto some forms of wildlife and ride them around, but that's really all there is. There's no puzzles or anything to speak of, and while that's fine, it's bound to feel shallow and somewhat disappointing to anyone looking for a traditional game that would provide any kind of challenge. There are people who will love its relaxing meditative adventure, but I'm sure there are just as many who will find its basic level of interaction rather boring. And honestly, with a runtime of under 2 hours, including a fair amount of exploration, I'd be insane if I were to suggest that Abzu is for everyone, because it's not. And there's barely enough in the game to keep it interesting after more than one playthrough, beyond its soothing atmosphere of course. But with that said, it does what it aims to do well by providing an undeniably relaxing experience that still manages to deliver some emotional moments despite its weird non-story. Abzu is certainly neat, taking a concept that's been used by games like Journey and Flower before it and providing an emotional, almost meditative experience as opposed to your standard video game. I can see this being a rather divisive game, but for what it's worth, I enjoyed my time with it, despite its serious shortcomings as a pure video game. Abzu gets the Top Hat Gamer rating of good. A word of caution, don't buy Abzu if you're looking for a challenging game to play. But if you're looking for a more relaxing, emotionally engaging experience that doesn't require much of a time investment, then I heartily recommend it. Thanks for watching, I hope you found the review informative. If you missed last week's review on Hyperlight Drifter or my top 10 best swordsman video, click the annotations. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to hitch a ride.